special occasion. Today we're not only awarding these gentlemen up on stage the National Emergency Medal, but we're also paying some tribute to St Florian's Day, and we'll go into a bit about what both is in a moment. But firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land, further acknowledging that this ceremony is being held on Wiradjuri tribal land. I would like to show recognition of the strength, resilience and capacity of our traditional land custodians in Albury. I would like to pay respect to past, present and emerging elders that are in our community. I'd like to ask if people could put their phones on silent, and we'll move on. I would like to acknowledge our Area Commander, Chief Superintendent Kelvin White, and I would like to acknowledge our Acting Manager, Southern Border Team, Inspector Sandra Cure. And I would like to further acknowledge the recipients today and their families that have come. I would like to put an apology in for RFS Commissioner Rob Rogers, AFSM, Greater Hume Shire Council Mayor Tony Quinn, the Honourable Steph Cook, MP, our Minister for Emergency Services and Resilience, the Honourable Justin Clancy, MP, State Member for Albury, the Honourable Susan Lay, MP, Federal Member for Farrell. The National Emergency Medal was established in 2011 to provide recognition within the Australian Honours System for the committed and courageous efforts of frontline responders, volunteers and community members throughout nationally significant events. The Green Valley Fire in the Southern Border Team was just one of the many significant fires of the 2019-20 season. And some of the medal recipients today assisted in multiple campaign fires throughout the course of this unprecedented season, not just in Southern Border, but throughout the state. I would now like to invite Chief Superintendent Kelvin White to address us regarding St Florian's Day.
Thanks, Raina. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our recipients. So the St Florian's Day is the International Day for the Firefighters. It's a very special day for those of us in the firefighting family. Named after the Patron Saint of firefighters, it's traditionally a day where we come together to recognise our volunteers and those who have gone above and beyond, showing incredible bravery, protecting their communities, delivering the highest level of commitment to the service and obviously to their communities. In all cases, the recipients are nominated by their peers, which is why I think this makes these awards so much more special. Normally we have St Florian's Day on the 4th of May, but unfortunately, due to the circumstances last year that we've become all too familiar with, we're unable to have the celebration on that day. So it's my pleasure to be here today to represent the Commissioner to partake in the St Florian's Day presentations. And I'd also like to say welcome and thank you to the families that have joined us here today. We all know that those of us that choose a life of service to the community don't do it without the support of friends, families and those networks around them. And a lot of our members don't do what they do to be recognised and find it challenging to be accoladed, if you will. So as much as these awards are for them and for what they have done to contribute to the Royal Fire Service and to their communities, these awards are also for each of you to thank you for your support to allow each of them to do what they do within our organisations. So on behalf of the Commissioner, I'm pleased to be here to present these awards, and I thank you all for your commitment to the recipients, and I congratulate all of you on being awarded today as well. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm just going to say a little thing about each recipient today, and I would like to start off with Captain Albert Morass. Captain Albert Morass, or Alby as we all know him, was in charge of the Gingelic Brigade, and is still in charge of the Gingelic Brigade and the community of the Jingellic Township during the Green Valley Fire of 2019-20. During this fire, a dangerous weather event occurred, generating a vortex known as a fire whirl, likely to have produced extreme winds consistent with tornado stretching some 8 kilometres in height. 2 days after the fire whirl hit, conditions became more dangerous and the community was evacuated. It was Captain Morass's standing in his community and his strong leadership that ensured the community was at the forefront of fire operations. He was successful in convincing community members to leave the area with only emergency service personnel remaining. As the fire threat worsened, there is no doubt Captain Morass's strong leadership, outstanding camaraderie and concern for members of the community during this period of time. His actions are highly commended. Captain Albert Morass is a worthy recipient of the Commissioner's Commendation for Service, and I'd like to invite him up to the stage to accept not only his Commissioner's Commendation of Service, but also his National Emergency Medal. Thank you, Albury, and congratulations. Well deserved. Our next recipient is Deputy Captain Wayne Watson of the Central Holbrook Brigade in the southern border. On a regular basis, Deputy Captain Wayne Watson plays a large role in the southern border team's logistical support and assistance to district staff. Deputy Captain Watson regularly assists with fleet movements for the southern border team, such as delivering new vehicles to brigades, returning vehicles for disposal to the Fire Control Centre or Council Yard, and undertaking fleet movements to return vehicles that have been deployed across the state to the district. Deputy Captain Watson played a key logistical role in the recent radio terminal replacement program, undertaking logistical support with the movement of new radios to installation points and return of the old radios. Deputy Captain Watson also assisted in the removal of the New South Wales RFS's equipment and emergency alerting devices from vehicles prior to delivery to auction for disposal. Deputy Captain Watson has undertaken this role for a number of years with no return of expectations from the district staff. He does this while continuing to be a regular responder for his local brigade. During the 2019-20 fire season, Deputy Captain Watson was also deployed in at least 6 interstate deployments around the state. Deputy Captain Watson performed these roles with enthusiasm and dedication. He continues to contribute to the district at a much higher level than expected of him as a Deputy Captain. He regularly displays and puts into action New South Wales RFS values and is always ready to assist when required. Deputy Captain Watson is a worthy recipient of the Commissioner's Certificate of Commendation today, and I would like to invite him up to the stage to accept his award. The next Commissioner's Certificate of Commendation is being awarded to Firefighter Malcolm Irons of the Central Holbrook Brigade. Firefighter Irons plays a large role in the Southern Border Team's logistical support and does provide assistance to district staff on a regular basis. Firefighter Irons regularly undertakes fleet movements for the Southern Border Team, delivering new vehicles to brigades, returning vehicles for disposal to the Fire Control Centre or Council Yard, and undertaking further fleet movements to return vehicles that have been deployed across the state. Firefighter Irons was instrumental in the recent radio terminal replacement program, undertaking logistical support with the movement of new radios to installation points and return of old radios. Firefighter Irons also provides the removal of New South Wales RFS equipment and emergency alerting devices from vehicles prior to delivering them to auction for disposal. Firefighter Irons has undertaken this role for a number of years, again with no return expectations from the district. He does this whilst continuing to be a regular responder for his local Central Brigade, and during the 1920 fire season, Firefighter Irons was also deployed on at least 6 interstate deployments. Firefighter Irons performs these roles with the enthusiasm and dedication. He continues to contribute to the district at a level that is much higher than is expected of him as a volunteer firefighter. He regularly displays and puts into action New South Wales RFS values and is always ready to assist when required. Firefighter Malcolm Irons is a worthy recipient of the Commissioner's Certificate of Commendation, and I would like to invite him up on stage to accept his award. And last but certainly not least, Group Captain Group Captain Matthew Hicks, Group 5 Group Officer and Gindera Brigade. During the Green Valley Fire, a change in wind direction threatened the Mundaroo State Forest, an area of predominantly pine plantation, with some larger contiguous area of native forest, including the Mundaroo Flora Reserve. The strong southerly change altered the direction of the fire and endangered this important public asset. Under Group Captain Matthew Hicks's leadership, with the support of the Western Australian Strike Team, firefighters were successful in defending the rapid advance of the fire toward the native forest. The professionalism applied in defending this asset is commendable. As a direct result of Group Captain Hicks's actions, decision-making and courage during this difficult and trying conditions, the team, with limited air support, were able to put a successful containment line between the native forest and the pine plantation. During this time, a considerable number of spot fires and tree ignitions hampered their progress and were dealt with promptly. Group Captain Hicks's leadership under difficult and trying conditions during the firefight throughout January 2020 was outstanding, and the dedication he displayed to the protection of the Mundaroo Forest is commendable. I would like to invite Deputy Group Captain Matthew Hicks to the stage to accept his award. I would like to ask Inspector Sandra Hewer to come up and make an address, please.
Gentlemen, congratulations. The commitment and dedication outlined through the stories for the commendations is just outstanding. As volunteers, I know that you don't do it for the medals and the recognition. You do it because you care for your community, and that's commendable in its own right. But know that the community and your families and the Rural Fire Service appreciate beyond words. Congratulations.
Thank you, Inspector Hewer. This concludes our ceremony. However, we would like to ask everyone to stick around for a lunch and to take some photos. So thank you very much for coming. I'd like to acknowledge that a lot of work does go on behind the scenes when it comes to these ceremonies, and I'd like to acknowledge the efforts of not only the Southern Border Team staff, but also various volunteers that have given us numerous hours to assist organising all this. Simone Feuerhart, Kim Rook, Cass Davis, Joe Painter and Lyle Barth. Thank you very much. That's it.